Welcome to the Orange Pew. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Orange Pew for the summer of 2025. As we end July and start August, this is going to be a good one. This is a final Orange Pew with Doug Frederick.
I'm not the co-host today.
You're not the co-host today.
I'm not your hype boy today.
No, you are the guest today.
Privileged.
And it's because life is changing, and
Quickly.
I am going to try to get through this without crying. So,
I'm feeling a little emotional right now.
are you?
Yep.
You should be. After 11 years, at my side and on our staff,
Yep.
Doug Frederick is leaving Christian Life Assembly. We announced it last Sunday. And he is going to be, drum roll, the assistant superintendent of the PAOC, British Columbia Yukon District office. So you're going down the street.
It's not far.
It's probably less than a kilometer.
It's not far.
So someone reached out to me. I made a personal post on my Instagram and Twitter, and someone said, "This is a great promotion, Doug." Do you see it as a promotion?
Not really. Like I don't. It doesn't feel like that. Like
No.
no, it doesn't feel like. I don't know. It's just different. I think pastors we see it as an assignment, and I don't think it's a scale. It doesn't feel like a scale for me. It feels like probably more work.
Yeah. Oh, more work. I mean, you've done a lot of work. You. So let me just say a few things. So you came here 11 years ago as my associate. You took on life groups and classes and the discipleship of people and leadership development. You helped me navigate through some turmoil. There had been a moral failure on staff, and there were waves.
Lots of manure under the floorboards, as we said.
Shocking for us when we walked in here.
Yeah, it was 2 years. First 2 years, felt like it was constant.
It was tough.
Yeah,
and I empathize for anybody walking a church through. And my predecessor, who's a great guy, friend, had been here for like 2 decades or 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So, just they hadn't had change. So they had this kind of eruption, and then there's poor communication, and people were confused, and there was a lack of trust and a lack of respect for the pastoral office, and so it was really hard. And you were so amazing. You worked hard. You did whatever I asked. You were so loyal. You were loving of people, caring and compassionate. And then you came to me and you said, "Hey, I have had this offer at Summit Pacific." And you and I are both alumni of Summit Pacific. So we both believe in the college, and what a great opportunity to replace Fred Fulford as the pastoral theology teacher, influencing a whole new generation of young men and young
still
women.
our mentor, I'd say.
Yeah.
For both of us, Fred's big impact.
So we'll talk about that a little bit, just about Summit a little bit, and then here Recovery Church, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
Great.
And then at the end, we're going to talk about what you're going to.
So guide us through well.
This is a podcast for CLA and our network, and that network is the POC BCYD in so many ways. So this is going to be good. Let's start with you coming 11 years ago. What were the things that you learned in the pastoral role at CLA? The good, the bad, the ugly.
Maybe people don't know how we got here. That's a unique story.
Oh yeah, we could
to
start
begin
there.
with. Do you want me to tell it? Because
Sure.
Because I could probably tell it from my side. Because when I called you, it was really an interesting response. So
yeah, this is a cool story.
So I went to Calgary
God.
in 2005 and took a church plant that was dying. It was about 250, whittled down to about 30 people. So after 10 years, almost 10 years being there, and here's the interesting thing too, Derrick, is that I don't drop resumes. I don't look
Right.
I don't look for jobs. Probably when you get to the summit thing, that probably adds to that. But when someone from the outside gives me shows me an opportunity, and it feels like there's peace in it, that's when I respond. So, 2014,
Yep.
pastoring at Church in the Hills, which is now Journey Church Calgary.
Yep.
Loving it. Went from 30 to about 400.
How many years were you there?
9, almost 10. So we went
Okay.
from 30 to about
10
450
years.
on a
That's
Sunday
good,
morning.
That's a good pastoral
It was
chapter.
good. It was great. So CLA is looking for a lead pastor.
Yes, they are.
Lots of people on the list.
24. or
So
something.
CLA is looking for a pastor, and then they're also looking for a interim pastor to come help in the transition. So they call me, and I think it was probably
No, they had an intern pastor. They had Anton Donkers doing
and
admin and
Fred
Fred Fulford as an intern. Yeah.
but they wanted to hire somebody to come and lead the ship, so to speak. So I went through the process, and when they gave me the invitation to come, that's when I called you, and you're in Emmanuel in Kelowna.
That's right.
At the
West
time.
Kelowna, yeah.
So I think what happened is that they had a lead pastor search going on
Yes.
in the month that I was doing interviews, and then
They had
looking for an interim.
two different groups.
Two different groups looking.
So the board was looking for a pastor,
Yeah.
and a subcommittee was looking for an associate, or
Right.
and the two weren't really communicating.
No, so I phoned
And
you.
Fred actually said to them, "Do not hire the pastor's associate without the pastor's input." But they were like, "No, we don't know how long the search would go." They thought the search could go a long time.
Yeah,
So
and
then
Shelley and I both felt
they asked you to come.
we felt peace. We felt our kids felt good about it. So I phoned you.
You did.
I called you and said, Derrick.
Because we're brother-in-laws. So Doug's
Yeah, we're
married
related.
to my sister.
We don't.
But
Play, we don't play that family card very much.
No, and I'd never worked with you.
No. And when I was in Kelowna, we rarely went to Emmanuel because I was at.
You were
Evangel.
yeah.
So I phone you.
Yes.
I phone Derrick.
Yes, you do.
And I say, Derrick, tell me what's going on with CLA Langley. And you go, what are you talking about? CLA Langley. Like, just like that. It was that kind of abruptness, right? Well, I was confused. I was like, well, CLA Langley, like Langley, BC, Christian Life Assembly. Like, what? No, what are you talking
Yeah,
about, Doug?
I was probably edgy because...
What are you saying to me right now?
And then you told me.
And then I said, well, I think they've asked me to come be the interim. And you're like, Doug, you don't understand. It's down to me.
Well, yeah, there were a couple of people.
Like maybe there's
left.
two people, but you're like,
I think
it's
I might be
narrowed
going
down.
there. I might be going there, I said to you.
And then I think you called the chairman of the search team.
I did.
They paused.
It was Bob Lundgren. I phoned him and I said, Bob,
They paused.
you don't know this.
We're
but
related.
You are interviewing my brother-in-law.
Right.
And Bob said, what?
Yeah. And I think
It's weird.
I think nepotism can be weird. Like,
Well,
it
nepotism can be dangerous.
dangerous and weird.
One of our board members was just telling me that Trinity Western has a nepotism clause. And
And they paused,
the
right?
district has that. And
They
so,
paused and did a little bit more research on you and I. And from what I
well, they asked me if I was willing to have you come. Like, they were like, oh, wow. And I said, Doug Frederick is a great guy. Whether I end up at CLA or not, you should hire him.
And I think I told you, I said, Derrick, I'll step back if knowing that you're going to be
step back.
knowing,
The
but knowing
process
that knowing
was
that
slowed
you
down, right?
knowing that you're going to be the lead pastor. I was like, I'll back off, Derrick. I don't need to come to Langley. You need to hire your own guy. And you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
3,500 credential holders across Canada, and it's you and me working
Yeah,
together.
that was,
So
I think there's 6,000. But anyways, the reality is,
if there's any loyalty, I like coming into Langley.
yeah,
I came in August. You came in September.
Yeah, we were a month
It was already like this is God speaking.
it was. So I've talked a bit about providence because we've got 10 pieces on the chessboard. So God plays chess with his servants. And at Langley right now, or in CLA, we've got like potentially 10 pieces moving around in a few months. So that's massive. And we're in the middle of talking about reorganization, which is very important. Just for people listening, so Brent Dolfo, a leadership guru,
Coach, guide.
yeah, he came here in 2015.
Yep.
And he helped you, me, and Marty organize a reevaluation. CLA was like 80 years old, and like, so who have we been, and where are we going to go, and what should we be? And he was great, and he got us into that word. CLA is all about transformation of lives, and then he said, and they've done it through gather, grow, serve, go, and so but he also told me recently that a church reevaluates every 8 years or so. Well, this has been like 10 years since we've done that, right?
Right.
So these pieces moving around have allowed us, and I think organizational adjustment, review, organizational Holy Spirit. What are we doing? How are we doing? Gather, grow, serve, go, and can we do it better? And should we reorganize? So you and others have allowed us to go back and do what you and I did 10 years ago, to reevaluate. And so you were so strategic and helpful at that time. And this time you won't be part of it, which is super weird.
But I'm still attending CLA. It's my home church.
You and Shelley this is your home. Yeah.
So...
Okay, so
that was a great story to begin with. And
yeah,
I think
great story.
I've always felt
Providence. I've been talking to people about Providence, and people are like, "Oh my goodness, people are leaving. How are you feeling?" I'm like, "I'm walking in God's providence," and that story that you just told, that's Providence. God,
so if I get passionate about people like an organization like CLA,
yeah,
it's because I'm very loyal to this church.
you are loyal.
I love the people. I think you said it, like the first couple of years, walking, new leadership. I remember somebody, I don't know if I ever told you this, but somebody walked in Sunday morning, like it might have been 6 months, and they didn't know that there was a senior leadership transition. And this person was in the foyer of the church, and they're like, "Where's all my leaders? Where's my pastors?" Yeah. So I think it was a shock to a lot of people.
We had huge staff change. I think we had
Massive.
about 80 staff at the time.
Massive.
And we just had a lot of staff adjustment because they had to realign from maybe an attractional model to a missional model. And I'm very different than Brent, and the team was different than the former team, and so it was tough. And there was a lot of grief, and there was anger, and then some people slowly got on board. And so...
but I think we saw some wins in the first 2 to 3 years, because there was, in the past of CLA, lots of small groups and discipleship, and that kind of waned in the year before we came, 2013.
Yeah, like, so you mean from the experiment that they had?
The experiment. So I think the first couple of years of small groups, classes, like I think that first year of classes here on Wednesday night, I think we had huge. Like we had 1,500 people come to the classes on Wednesday night, and people were just ready. And I think another thing that we did, and you and I did, and Marty, is we focused on relationships. Like I think I went through the list of young families, men, and I just went through the list, and I think I had coffee with most of the people at CLA during that time. So I think those were wins. Those are big wins for us. You love people sincerely, deeply, and people know it. They feel it. So that's what people are going to miss. What are we without the people?
Most.
That's
I know, but there's a lot of pastors that don't have any Berkman Green. Hard to believe, but true.
That's why we're here. So I think that was a win. I think the residue of failure was like hard, I think, in our first couple of years. And then came transition to Summit.
Let's talk about that.
In 2016.
Yeah, I mean, we were very grateful that you were willing to stay on part-time. And Summit doesn't pay very well, so it was nice to have a second job. And the reality is that you took on Recovery Church. And I remember this because Joel Reimer had just left. And the reality was that we were like, we need someone who's been in addiction, right? So Kevin, Jason, all these people who had done Recovery Church had. But what you proved was you didn't have to be from the community to to love the community. You have been such a champion for Recovery Church, but at the same time, traveling every day. Like, how's that? An hour? Is that an hour?
About 40 minutes one way.
Yeah, to the
So
summit.
hour and a half every day.
Tell us about that. That's amazing. What Dave Demchuk, and he's leaving this year. Like, so that's transition. But Summit, it's a huge thing. And we have Summit students watching right now who are applauding you for your years. How many years?
It's 9.
9.
So if I was still, and I'm teaching this fall just one course.
Okay, but 8
to help
up
them
to this point.
So no, end of 9, it would have been 10.
Wow.
Start of 10th, because 2016, 2020.
So why did you want to mentor the next generation?
I think it was influence. I think I felt like being at Summit part-time and at CLA would have given me an opportunity to have influence over young pastors. And I saw Eugene Peterson talks about the evangelical machine. I see young pastors who are enamored by lights and green room and all that stuff. And I think I felt like I had an opportunity to maybe shape or reshape some people's thinking what pastoral ministry is like, that it's focused on people. So it was also a really good run, Derrick. Like, Summit is strong, healthy, no debt, good team.
Well run.
I mean, they're looking for a new president, and I think you're part of that transition too, right? Lots of wisdom upon that.
Yeah, praying
But
for that.
it's a good place.
It is a good place. I think it's one of the best Bible colleges in Canada.
The faculty and staff they care about. They literally care
And
about
they make
students.
huge sacrifices, I think.
Massive.
Yeah.
I mean, with CLA, it was called a secondment.
Yeah.
So it was like I was
Half and half, right?
half and half, but everything came through CLA.
Yeah.
But also great memories of great
Graduation
conversations, just
classes.
mentoring students and being there. And
Yeah.
I didn't have to do any administration. I didn't have to do like room checks, or I just taught my classes and mentored students. And for me, the greatest joy at Summit was placement. Seeing a student graduate and seeing them placed in a ministry position.
So
Like a Riley Berthouden in Penn.
Riley Berthouden. Yeah.
Right. Jack.
So some people have been critical of Summit and its inability to get next-gen leaders into places. And people talk about how many churches are open and people not willing to go to Chetwynd and stuff like that. What's your response to that?
Well, I think the issue is not just POC and BC. It's cross Canada. It's North American wide. There's a struggle to find new pastors to be part of the pipeline.
Why?
I don't think we talk about it very much anymore. Like, I think we don't talk about the call of God. We don't talk about ministry. I don't think I'm not sure when the last time I've heard somebody, even at a youth group, say, maybe you are called to full-time ministry. Maybe you're called to missions. Like, I don't know if we push that anymore. So I think there's lots of reasons. I think it's the district. We need to step up and mentor better. The church needs to talk about it more.
I've been pushing this for a long time, so here it goes. I think that the district should sell its office or lease it and move to Summit, the mountain, and the district officials should be on the mountain with the freshmen and the sophomore and the junior and the senior. They should be mixing and mingling. Those students should be exposed to district leaders every day, in the classroom, in the cafeteria, in their coming and going, so that when it comes time to credential,
they're known.
they know these guys.
We know where to put them.
Yeah. So I, on behalf of all of your students and people who are in ministry now, thank you for your hard work up at Summit. And
Privilege.
I also really appreciate the faculty and staff at Summit and do pray for their future. What about Recovery Church? So you always said it's the best place to be on a Sunday. And I believe you believe that. So how did you tell them And where do they go now? They've learned to love someone who was an outsider, a bit of an outsider. You've done great. What happens next?
This Sunday night, the 20th, I, through my holidays, I was feeling the sense of talking about gratitude, what gratitude does to the soul. So I used a story of, the 10 lepers and the one comes back. And there's a difference between the 10 leopards. The Greek word is like cathartic. It's like, okay, they got healed. It was nice, 9 of them. But when it talks about that one leper that came back, when it says that he was well, the Greek word is sozo. So it means like there's a wholeness to his response to what God has done for him. And so I just mentioned that, and I said, I need to tell you what I'm grateful for. And I just went through the list of Recovery Church, what I'm grateful for. The volunteers, each and every one in that room, the recovery centers that we work with. So it's probably about 8 or 9 things that I just said, I am so grateful. Yeah. And then I just told him, I said, over the holidays, not looking for it. I said, I don't do resumes. I don't look for it. But when there's something that comes my way and I pray about it, and Shelley's confirms it, my kids confirm it, I couldn't walk away from it. And I've taken a role, and I told them that I'm resigning from being the main pastor of Recovery Church. They were gracious, Derrick. People were very, very gracious. So that's kind of how I talked about it. But I think what helps though too, and I mentioned it already, is that, Shelley and I are not leaving CLA. This is our home church. Like we're committed to the vision here and what the direction in the future, and
continue in volunteering at Recovery Church.
So I ministry is not just a full-time thing. Like I think I will shrivel up and die if I'm just, I think we might talk about this, but if I'm just visiting churches 20 weekends a year and dealing with
20 weekends a year, it's going to be like 40 weekends a year.
You know how people lie on resumes when they interview. They're like, yeah, probably about 22 weekends a year.
I served 18 years on the DLT.
I know.
I think that you're going to be able to.
I think you know my role maybe better than I do.
Well, I just think you're a lover, you're loyal, and you're going to work hard, and you're going to be out there in the trenches. So,
but I'm still.
If you're interested in Recovery Church, there's an opening. Now, let me say that.
Like an opening to volunteer or opening to, opening to pastor?
I need a Recovery Church pastor to replace Doug Frederick.
So I told them on Sunday night
and they were gracious.
I said, my last Sunday is August 17th.
Yes, it is.
But then on the 24th, I'm hosting. Larry's speaking. Okay. On the 31st, I'm doing
it's fake.
I'm doing the baptisms.
Well, not every pastor gets that opportunity, and I do pray it works for you. I just hold it lightly.
Yeah, I know it's good.
When we talk about the Recovery Church, I want to say that you have a great admin person who has helped direct.
Sam Stanley is gifted with admin, and I would say, if you could change the spiritual gift administration to being thorough and efficient, that's Sam.
Administration is a spiritual gift. Moses
it is.
Empowered through the Spirit elders who did administration, dealt with complaints and helped organize Moses' life. And I think that sometimes we don't say enough about our admin team.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree, Derrick.
And a lot of pastors at a lot of churches are supported by fantastic admin people who work way over what is expected, and they do it for a love of God and for a love of God's people.
And I've seen so many giftings in Sam too. So I don't, even though Sam is a ministry assistant, we've worked really well together. And decisions that are made, I always run it by Sam. And I think when you do that with staff people, when you make them feel like they have a part of the future and direction, it works good. So Sam's done great. But also there's certain individuals too that, just if people from recovery are watching this and wondering, like Garrett Cahoon, who leads our outreach.
Amazing.
He's not going anywhere. I know that you've met with them both, Derrick.
Yes, I have.
There's some discerning that's going on about the future and direction. But I feel a confidence with Sam, with Garrett, and the volunteers, you know.
When I met with Sam, I was so amazed, and I guess every pastor probably is, but like the kitchen, the altar team, the security, the worship, like every part. I think I counted 11 parts
sound.
to make it work.
Yeah, there's lots that goes on.
So there's a lot of volunteers, and that makes the church move forward. Volunteers, and that takes pastoral care and support to build that kind of pipeline. So well done on keeping that going. Okay, so now we're going to talk about where you're going and what you're hoping to accomplish. And maybe there are about 200 churches in the British Columbia and Yukon district of the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. That is a mouthful. There are hundreds of credential holders.
700.
700. And there are
25,000 adherents to POC
that are
churches.
in church on a Sunday.
17,000 on a Sunday.
Wow. So why did you want to do this? And I know it's assisting Mark, and I want you to unpack a little bit about what your vision is, what you want to see happen. But just in the first question, why did you want to do this? Why was it important?
Yeah, I first of all, I felt again when the invitation came, I wasn't looking for it. I don't do the resume thing. I think probably even in my interview, my first interview on my holidays, I said, first of all, you know what my age is, right? Like I'm not, because
You're 58.
I know, but my understanding of the district direction in the future was for younger leaders to be the superintendent and the assistant superintendent. So I said, first of all, you know that I'm 58.
Yeah.
I'm pretty passionate about being an advocate for women in ministry.
Sure.
There comes a time where I think it's time for a woman to lead, or someone that has an ethnic understanding of the Lower Mainland and the diverse ethnic ministries out here. So I think in my first interview, I told him, I said, I'm not looking for a job, and you know my age, and why is there not a woman being considered? Like the District of Montana, they just voted in the very first woman district superintendent in Montana in 111 years, and I think I hope for us to see that in BC.
Okay, let me just stop then. Okay, so you say you need ethnic diversity, you need women,
but they came back, and they
why would you take the job?
Because they felt like they said that we need someone who has a track record. You know, the thing that I think I can bring to the district office, Derrick, is that I've experienced some healthy church environments. Like I feel incredibly blessed. I mean, there's lots of challenges being a pastor. You know that. You face them every single day. You're going through some of it right now with some departures here at CLA. But I'm blessed to be in churches that have been very healthy. Like if we talk about Fred Fulford, the pastor that you start to work with is really important. So I was mentored by Fred for 10 years. I kind of understand what's not healthy and what is healthy, and that's I think I can bring some of that and help Mark with that, and the district officers with that. Is what is a healthy, vibrant church look like? What is as Scott McKnight says, what's a Tove church? What does a good church look like? So I felt like it's like maybe a culmination of 35 plus years of healthy ministry, and then being invited into churches that have, it's not all conflict resolution, but boards, pastors, not discerning properly how to treat people. I think I can offer something.
Some of these churches are very small. Like they're in small towns, maybe 70, 80 people. And what is your vision for rural? What is your vision for ethnic? What is your vision for urban?
I think some of it is going to be discovered. Like I think you get insight when you're on site. I've never sat on the DLT. I've never, served in that way for a long time. So I think some of the vision that I'm going to have is when I'm there visiting the churches and seeing. I think this might seem strange and odd, but I don't think so. I think it's healthy. I think the first thing that I want to do is I want to listen. I want to listen to pastors. I want to have discussion with the previous assistant superintendents. Where have we been? Where do we need to go? I want an open, humble ear to come up with a plan and declare it when it's after I've listened to people.
So what do you think pastors need? How can a district serve them? And let me say, in our context, the Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada, the district is where it's at. I've always believed that. The national office looks after international missions, does a little bit for Missions Canada. But as far as, like me, as a pastor, I never think about the national office, ever. But I think about the district office a lot because they deal with credentials. They deal with, they help churches when they get sued. They are involved in moral failure. So they're always on the front.
And litigation is on the rise, definitely.
Yeah.
With
So,
church life.
what do those 200 pastors need, in your opinion?
200 churches and
Oh, yeah.
600,
200
700
churches.
plus
Sure.
credential holders.
Yeah.
There's so many facets to, I think, what helps a pastor be healthy. I think a big one is self-awareness and identity. And I think there's so much, Derrick, of insecurity. Like, almost like, there's Jim Bradford used to say, who's a pastor in the States and worked with him at Broadway. He said, there's two concentric circles. It's who I am and what I do. And he says, when those get too meshed together, then you're not going to lead well. Because any conflict, any criticism, you're going to be destroyed and you won't lead well. So I think it's helping pastors live and serve well, relationships, marriage, get a hobby, read, do something beside the church, and be healthy in yourself so that you can handle sometimes the onslaught of what you face every single day: crisis, pain, death. So I think that's a big one. I think there are pastors who are isolated. I know in our district we have something called clusters. I think that name needs to be changed. And
So these are small groups.
these are small groups for
pastors.
pastors to make sure that there's people checking in and connecting.
The district, just for clarification, the district would be organized in sections. So the Northeast, the Northwest, and Okanagan, Kootenays, whatever. So in each of these geographical locations, there's supposed to be a cluster, a small group for pastors to gather.
So
And
I think
it's not happening.
No.
Or it's not.
I think with the way that the district was organized in the last 8 to 9 years, there was a huge focus on church planting and revitalization.
Sure.
And that's going to continue. But my role is not central to revitalization and church planting. It's to assist Mark, hopefully so that, the district superintendent and the assistant isn't away 42, weekends a year. So I think it's to, and I think one of the only clusters that kind of survived was the 500 plus cluster. Like you're part of a cluster.
I'm in a cluster. Yeah.
So
It's good. It's
I'll
really
be able,
good.
Yeah, I'll be able to see you at that cluster too. But others, what about youth pastor gatherings clusters?
music
What about
pastors.
associates? What about, one of the things that I think of is, I think brand new lead pastors, maybe you've been in ministry for 20 years, but you've never been a lead pastor. I think it's traumatic to some people. There's a friend on Vancouver Island. He just took the lead in Nanaimo. And I saw him a little while ago. And I said, how is it? How do you feel? He goes, like, my learning curve is through the roof. Like, I'm learning things that I didn't understand. We say that, I've always felt like I have a piece of the game to play. Like, even being here, Derrick, as assistant, I've never felt like I haven't pastored this church. You're the lead pastor, but I have a piece of the game, and I take that responsible. But there is a difference between an associate and a youth pastor and being a lead pastor. There's a heaviness. There's
Yes,
a weight.
there's the weight,
You care. It's like there's a weight and a joy. You carry stuff. So I think, like, I would love to see a retreat for brand new lead pastors. Invite you and some of the others who've been a lead pastor for many years to come in, because a lot of these guys, they haven't been in a board meeting, and then they're going to lead boards and they're going to lead controversy and so I think that's another thing that I would like to see happen.
So if people are watching right now and you want to be in a small group, you should contact Doug, and he'll try to organize a small group for you. I think that's
if you contact me before I contact you, because I'm calling lots of
I think
people.
it's a great goal. We also are a multi-site church, CLA.
Yeah.
And I was at a Canadian multi-site event in June. And it was fantastic. First time I've ever been invited.
I was with you.
And so, there's another group, multi-site pastors. It's not the same as a self-governing pastor.
No.
It's different. And those people deserve a group to discuss, to learn, to debrief, to pray with each other.
Or to make sure that we are partnering with like that group, that retreat that was like, try to say, listen, there's, I think
events.
most of our POC churches that are
multi-site
were there anyways. Yeah. So isolation does wicked things to our mind and our heart. So
and it's a big province.
It's a big,
the Yukon.
It's a big province.
All the way up to Whitehorse.
Dawson City to Fernie to Tawasin to
we don't have a church
Fort
in
Nelson.
Are you going to plant a church in Tawasin?
Yeah, I'll do it on the side.
Okay.
In my free time.
Extra part. Yeah. No, it's a huge province to cover. And so I know, this is what I know about you. You're hardworking, you're loyal, and you're going to really assist Mark. I was shocked about this for a variety of reasons. But then I became comfortable with God's sovereignty and knew that you were the right person at the right time, and I'm your biggest cheerleader. I think...
I didn't think the job was coming my way, Derrick. I didn't think that this assignment was... I left it open. I know we had a good conversation about this. But I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do the interview because there's something there in my spirit. And then they offered it. So I felt peace about it.
And pastors, we don't order our lives, right? We go into ministry for 35, 40 years, whatever, and we have these 5 assignments. And very much we've always believed that, and that's why it's so critical to marry someone actually who's flexible to pack up and leave, because your assignment could change anytime. Some of the old denominations used to move people around. Even the Foursquare Church moved people around. PUC never did that, but still, we are going to move 4 or 5 times for sure in a career.
I mean, I think this is my last full-time assignment. Because the district actually votes on my position.
No, we don't.
Yeah, they do.
What?
Yeah, I'm an officer.
I thought we just voted on Mark.
No, I hope not.
Someone answer that. Do we vote on these?
The other thing, Derrick.
No, we hire you.
The other thing that I think of, like now I'm starting to think about the role a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is we're not the Lower Mainland. The POC is not the Lower Mainland.
Sure.
Like there are right now 10 churches in the north that do not have a pastor.
Right. That's the issue.
Buildings, and we need pastors.
Yeah.
And I am, I've already told Mark Lewis this. I'm not interested. Don't send me to national office. I don't want to go on any trips. I want to stay, and let's find a remedy to fill these churches with people who love their communities really well.
Well,
like the north is important. The
north is important.
I think
rural is important, and we'll pray for you.
Well, I think we should have in this next few years. I think we should have our Lead Forward conference in Whitehorse. I think we should do something for the north. Make a statement.
Now, okay. You're going to be involved, and I appreciate this. You're going to be involved in professional development of all these credential holders. That's a role that you and Mark are going to play. And at least once a year, we all come down from Prince Rupert and from Dawson Creek and from Comox. And what do you feel are the priorities for professional development or spiritual revitalization of our leadership?
You know, the other thing that is on a list for me is, and I know this is happening, but make sure it's more clear for our district, is prayer. Like, I'm very interested in a meeting. I mean, I can only in the Lower Mainland, meeting with retired credential holders and calling them, asking them, begging them to pick a church and pick pastors and pray faithfully for the kingdom of God through the POC churches that we're part of. So I want some of that to be stirred up as well. It's really, really important. One thing I've learned from you, Derrick, and I love it, is because of your, like in the POC, we talk about Berkmans. Yep. So your Berkman is double high red, right? But what I love about you, Derrick, is that you're double high red, but it's not just for administration. You're let's do it, let's go. It's for people. But what I appreciate about your leadership, Derrick, is and you've always said this, we're going to pray, and then we're going to go.
Yeah.
And you do that all the time. I know that you pray. My confidence in and my loyalty to CLA is also because of your leadership, Derrick. And I know we're close to the end of this podcast, but we went through a lot. But I've just loved working with you.
Thank you.
You know, before we came here, I didn't know what it was like.
We'd never worked together.
We hung out as family.
Yeah.
Kids played. We talked about ministry stuff. But you're double high red. You respond. You act. And I know that you pray, and I know that you have a spirituality.
Thank you.
These 11 years, I've trusted you deeply, Derrick.
If you can rally people to pray for our churches, our pastors, our deacons, our kids workers, if you can rally people to volunteer into youth ministry across this province, if you can encourage pastors through new small groups, and if you can take some of the weight from Mark, then and that's what I hear, then you're doing a great job. One of the things that's encouraged me the most is that we started praying every day on Zoom during COVID, and we've been praying. I was on this morning at 6:45, so we've been praying every day on Zoom for 5 years. Yeah, for CLA.
It's doing something. It makes a dent.
Sometimes there's 6, sometimes there's 16. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I also really advocate for pastors to get a fasting and prayer. Get 30 people. That's all you need. One person a day that will say, I'm praying for you, Pastor. I'm praying for this church. I'm praying for outreach in our community.
Yes.
And just start praying. Okay, back to professional development, and then we're going to end. I have a scripture.
You said COVID. That gives me hives too, because in these 11 years, we also walked through COVID.
We did.
Lots.
There's lots.
We went through a lot.
Every pastor did. I mean, every family did. Yeah. Every Gen Z kid did. Okay, so if you're going to help with professional development and spiritual renewal, prayer is one thing. What else do you want to see brought to pastors and deacons and kids workers and youth workers and people that come to our conferences?
My mind's going crazy. I think at our conferences or when we gather, I think help with admin. I think HR is a big surprise to a lot of pastors. I think help with preaching is important. I think help with marriage and relationships are important. Yeah. I think I talked about this is this sense of a pastor knowing who he is and that he's called. There's a lot of guys that you talk to, I talk to, who want to be a pastor, but I'm not sure I should be a pastor, and I think about being a pastor. I'm praying. No, you have to know that you're called. So I think just solidifying, encouraging. A lot of times districts have told people what they're going to do, follow our ministry in the district. I think the posture of the district office needs to be, we're going to come under you. What do you need? We're going to listen, and how can we help you? Do you need help with your marriage? Do you need help with preaching? Do you need help with administration? Do you need help with?
Can I give you a suggestion?
Yeah, of course.
AI. Pastors need to understand artificial intelligence, how it can work for us, how it can break us, how it's ethical, how it's not. There's people at Trinity Western University teaching this, and our pastors are often clueless. I am.
In fact, this whole podcast, you and I aren't even here. This is all AI. I've got 6 fingers. Can you see?
So I want to close off the Orange Pew and our last time together here. Don't know what's going to happen in the future, but Scripture, Ecclesiastes 3, there is a time for everything and for every season, for every activity under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to tear down, and a time to build, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain. I'm getting emotional. There's a time to search and a time to give up. There's a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak. There's a time to love. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. And thanks.
Love you,
for
Derrick.
the time. And to our audience, thanks. Thanks for joining us.
Love you, CLA.
Thanks for being a part.
Thank you, CLA, for just being gracious to Shelley and I these last 11 years. It's one of your pastors. A real privilege. And, honor. Love you, Derrick.
I think it should, I think change should bring grief. I think it means you've done well. You've loved well. And so have a great summer.
I'm not looking forward to August 17th.
I'm not even here.
I know.
I'm on holidays for the month of August.
It's good. You need to be on
You've
holidays.
Picked a
It's
day.
healthy.
But thanks for doing this. For some, it was news. And for some, here's love. And here's the
You mean
last
I
chocolate.
get,
The last chocolate.
I get a Terry's chocolate?
You get an orange, Doug Frederick. There you go.
Did we gave every guest one of these,
We
right?
tried to.
Okay,
oh my
well,
goodness.
just because
Oh wow. Holy cow.
I love you and
You're opening the
we're
orange?
a team, instead of like taking it away,
Oh,
we're
wow.
gonna participate. Joel, our producer.
Yeah.
Come on over, Joel.
Come have a piece of chocolate. he's like, I'm not.
Here, I'll throw it at him. Joel, here, catch.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Derrick.
And thanks to our audience.
Thank you, CLA and Network.
And we'll see where this goes. I don't know. In the fall, we'll see.
Pray for us. Pray for CLA.
Pray for transition.
Pray for our province. Pray for renewal, revival, change. Yeah. Amen.
Thanks for the chocolate.
You bet.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to The Orange Pew. To stay up to date, please subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube Podcasts. We'll see you next time.